I'm just getting started. Got my eyes on the target. No, no. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. They say I'm dangerous 'cause I broke all the cages. No, I won't sit and take it. No, no. They left me for dead, I guess I'll never learn. Every time I break, there's just more pain to burn. They'll never, never, never learn. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. There is a place where you can run free. Time does not exist. Take a chance when the road before us falls under our face. I can't hold on, I can't remain so strong. We have the same old bond, but everything is wrong. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own. swallow. I'm reaching out, but all I feel is hollow. I wanna make you work, but all I do is make you worse. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me We've lost track of time, don't know how to feel, but I'm not sorry. I'm lost in your eyes, are you even real? But don't you worry, I'm not looking for the one. No, I just wanna have some fun. So let's get drunk tonight, 'cause fuck how we feel. But for now, I won't give it all away, 'cause I don't think I'll stay. drove down to my base. While I blame the world's neglect, then I shine right back again. So I'll hold back, and you should know that we're never gone, just like the grass. So I'll go back, oh, would a guide me to forget the time I lost with no regrets? Let me forget.
It's hard for me to let go, but I think that I'm finally feeling good again. So hard cause I loved you, but I'm finally feeling like myself. All of the wounds that were opened by you are now closing. I finally know how to live without hurting myself. I think that I am moving on cause I do feel less broken. I needed a sign, this is a sign that I'm healing. I'm finally healing from you. I'm finally healing from you. Come off hardy. I'm just an imperfect person in this imperfect world, but I'm learning my way under this maze that I'm running through. Now when I think of you, I'm fine. See a picture of you, you leave me alive. And now when I think of you, I'm fine. And all of the wounds that were opened by you are now closing. I finally know how to live without hurting myself. I think that I am moving on cause I do feel less broken. I needed a sign, and this is the sign that I'm healing.
Masuta all all alone. This is basically a full eco. This is one Deeg that's done this to Vitality. And now Masuta's looking for a way back in, but outsiders aren't giving anything over. They're just playing with him. They're toying with him. He's in his own head, and now he's out of there. Outsiders, they're going to win this round with nothing more than a Deeg. That is ludicrous. It all starts with Yakinda, and it's ended by Jame and Flit finishing what he started over in middle.
Yeah, they bought a P250, they did nothing, and a Deagle, and that's it. It was all Yakinda. It was all those double openers that dropped FAMAS, and a very awkward post plant where Vitality can't even get back into the bomb site. Those are not easy shots to hit, man, and it screams Outsiders in the second round. Excellent shooting. And Jame, even just baiting so hard on the ramp that Masuta knew he couldn't get comfortable enough to stick that bomb. One of two would have fought, one of them would have faced. AWP is now out in round 3 for Jame. The money man's back again. He never left. And ZywOo, who is playing for an AWP in this round as well, on a USP previously. At least that gave him a little bit more money to join Masuta with a rifle in this round. A4 fans. ZywOo is one of them. Heavy setup on the A site, but Outsiders still defaulting. They're being given a lot of control. Yakinda's going to take con. ZywOo's timing spot missed, but Yakinda's could be as well. Flicks back, beautiful shooting, and ZywOo is out of the round immediately.
dupree's got dualies again, but they didn't treat him well in the pistol. Also, this is still so measured from Outsiders. Like, Vitality is sweating right now. They're feeling pressure to take these fights. Well, the dual Berettas will finally win them.
All right.
Masuta still an unknown factor back inside of the site, and that's the bomb going in first. Drop now over on the ramp side. We need this activation out of Flit. He's out
good
past
luck.
the con smoke, and Masuta dies, walking the ramp side. Now dupreeh is under such stress. He's going to have to turn on a dime. Knocks Flit out. Oh, dupreeh with a follow-up. The Molotov, as it goes in, he goes swinging with it. And Jame, left in this clutch, might go walking to his death. It's a CT swing out of Apex. Vitality with the reply, and dupreeh with one hell of a round.
As much as Yakinda won the second with a single deagle buy, it's the double dually investment, Harry, that does it all. Chases down Yakinda. 2 players had already faced him, knowing exactly where he was, and died. But it's the dualies to chase him, grab the AK, and clean up shop with a triple on the A side. That is beautiful for dupreeh. And that's what an injection for Vitality, not just a money, but just a momentum. Shutting out that full buy for Outsiders with the AWP for Jame, all gone, all thrown to the wind. As Vitality do it back with nothing. Okay, Harry, we got a game on our hands.
Dude, I can't get over that swing from dupreeh. Like, he hears the molly getting lobbed out, and he's like, well, I'm either going to burn to death or I try to win it on a wide swing. And he does it, and it looks flawless. Like, it was really clean, and he saved the day for Vitality.
Oh, did they see him? Flit looks so aware right now. ZywOo's dropped down lower. No teammate to boost him. This is a nice gap for Flit. He's making sure that ZywOo can't escape. That flash does give a window away, but he's got a bit of vision in through this box. Molly's a problem. No smoke. He has to fight. He has to commit. And dupreeh and ZywOo were double set up ready for that fight. Triple mid early, and they completely fall back. The one rifle lost. ZywOo hangs around, and it's a double dipping that leaves Vitality full. 5-on-2, and these pistols should just be rid of the round. No problem. P250s and Glocks when Yakinda's not here. 3-1 for Vitality with 5 alive. They win the Force Buy Wars. And it's got to be one more eco for Outsiders.
Yeah, and I just think, Outsiders, they are in like a bit of a weird place, right? Like, all the kind of interviews you've had out of key players, even guys like Yakinda, it hasn't sounded impeccable, internally, right? In terms of what's going on with this team trying to stay together. So I think in a certain way, this team always got by having full faith in the system, in James' system.
Sure.
But I almost feel like for someone like Yakinda, this might be more individualistic than we're used to seeing, right? he's still trying. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he needs to get his name out.
No.
Everyone says that, yeah, dude, he's just a flat upgrade for pretty much any team that would be willing to pick him up. But it's even that knowledge, even the knowledge that your players, you know, people want them. People want these guys.
I think
and it's gonna do weird things potentially to this Outsiders squad here in the Legend stage.
Well, that's the question, right? So what does it do to this team, knowing that it might be your final run, right, as a roster? Does that, you know, completely suck the juice out of you and suddenly you're just, you don't really care and you lose motivation, you lose a couple of tilt rounds and you're in your head? Or does it just motivate you knowing, hey, guys, doesn't matter what we do here, it's good enough. You know, let's have fun with it. Let's play loose. Let's be explosive. And some of those factors are what have put Outsiders this deep in Counter-Strike already. ZywOo's barrel gets seen, and that's... Oh, no, it's not a headshot. It's a dink through. ZywOo flicks down and finishes off Yakindar. He should be dead right now. Kickett's dealt one to Apex at least, coming in from Con. That's, again, Apex pushing into middle and getting caught. Bit awkward, leaves things in a 4-on-4, gives Outsiders a way back in. James still got his AW. Leaning B right now, checking out for deep apps, but Vitality smoke it off, buying more time at the minute mark. Flash from mid, and that's info for Dupree, but it's misinfo. Flit's still here behind the boxes. There's no Molotovs to clear this position out. Flit loves doing this so late in the round, letting his teammates execute onto a bomb site while he late lurks. Out he goes, but there's another flash, and Dupree hits it this time around.
Yeah, in a weird way, you know, maybe this helps Kicker get a bit more room, right? You might think you've dealt with the mid lurk, because normally it's Flit there alone. The fact that Kicker's coming in a little bit later now might be an unknown entity, but it still hinges on getting these ramp players out and into the site. Even though Kicker's found success on mid, still on a timer here. James out at ramp, trying to fight back with this bomb. ZywOo needs to offer a helping hand. Smoke in the way, and Magisk with the USP wins the first. ZywOo, 10 points of health versus Kicker. Bomb out in the open, he's going to get that CT plant in. The nade, it's good damage. 1 HP. Kicker still alive by the skin of his teeth. And will that give him the edge? He's getting wrapped, not ready for it. ZywOo follows up with aggression, and Kicker was expecting him to take his time. It's not the case as ZywOo runs him down.
Oh, that's such an unfortunate round for Kicker as well. So many great timings from that conlug under, like you talked about. But even then, when he went for the bomb, if he stayed on the angle on the smoke a second longer, ZywOo walks into him with 1 health. When Kicker went for the bomb, there was an HE on the ground. He accidentally jumps over it by a millisecond. And right there, again, a nade, you throw it stairs, you win. So Kicker gets very unfortunate, but ZywOo, of course, capitalizes on every factor. 9-3 right now. After not even buying in round 2, well, he is funded up for the big green. Fast out of Palace. This one's heard.
Yeah, it's loud. Oh, Kicker on the ladder. Couldn't help out there. Gun juggled forward. Still in with a chance here. James also late lurking middle, right? Armed with an AK. He's got one of the 2 guns in this round. They're trying to set him up to make a play, but the nades are eliminating the rest of the Outsiders. Seen the barrel, seen the smoke, knows what's happening, but it's ZywOo to get that. Oh, a follow-up from this AWP. ZywOo roaring to life. Only Yakindar left, and he'll get cut down. We're getting a good game out of ZywOo, and a good game out of the Danes.
A good game?
This is a recipe for success for the Vitality squad. This is exactly what they needed. Outsiders going to call their first pause in. They've got some serious problems to address here. This is not the start they wanted. ZywOo's looking fired up. Dupree and Magisk are playing this like wonderful bit of interplay and synergy between the 2 of them. Oh, dude, it's a sight to behold right now. This is Vitality in their element.
This is animalistic for ZywOo. Primal with that double kill. I don't know how he even turns around. Apex got saved for a second, but I thought even he would be able to get away with that kill. ZywOo steals it and then goes on the double up. That's just sickening. This guy's not missing a beat right now, and Jay may have played up to the power of Mirage earlier on against C9, but boy, Vitality. This is the fear when you take a team of legends and you push them down 0-1, right? It's kind of what we're hoping for to come from FaZe later on, looking a lot better. A kick up the arse is sometimes the best medicine. Vitality have come in with a remedy. 6-1 up. ZywOo's out under right now, and he hits the jiggle. That's not supposed to be a kill. And with the smoke down, he's even able to escape. Not for long. James ready for the repeat. ZywOo goes back for more, and yet again it gets punished. can't really blame him with the game he's having. But Apex, man, he is relentless. Again, down lower, he got seen by Kick It there, wants to get out, knowing that spot came in. Outsiders might try and crush him. Meanwhile, Masuta's even trying his hand at aggression. Not done this before. Double B push with Dupree. Buster's holding with the bomb.
Oh, that's a bit of a flick back round, isn't it? It looked like he was going to get caught sleeping at the wheel there. Weren't ready for the second man. However, James is still in under. Could have attempted to trade that, and Apex nutmegs the man in top mid. 55 seconds, outsiders are fine, playing to the extremities of this clock. They're more than used to it, and they're not feeling the pressure yet. They're going to start to lean towards B, and right now, it's still just low HP Dupree responsible for this entire bomb site. Magisk and Apex are a long way away, and so if Vitality even want to retake this round, Dupree needs to go 1-for-1 at a bare minimum.
Yeah, he's got a great angle. They don't have a nade to clear it. No molly, no HE. It's just contact, and he's crouched. The latest contact he can supply, but he uncrouches, and 2 are ready for him. Buster finds the shot. 3-on-2, default plant, and still with the open abs. This is where Jane wants to be. He can cover catwalk right now, but this is not a round that Vitality will consider going for. They're going to give it up. Outsiders, like you said, there needed to be a 1-for-1 there on the B-bomb side to even tempt Vitality in. And with them so far away, they know Outsiders will be set up before they're even there. So this is a round for Outsiders finally. A late conversion back on B. A couple of nice shots in there for Buster as well.
It's kind of weird, but like James is very much this player where the more confident you're feeling against his team, the better he gets.
Yeah.
It's a super like conflicting, message to send. But that round there, it started so good for Vitality, and it only starts to spiral once ZywOo kind of goes one step too far in going for those mid kills. And it's like you pointed out in the moment, you can't blame him. He's 12-4. He's hit every single shot that's been required, and he's trying to keep that dominance up, right? To keep that kind of suffocating power of his AWP in play. And it's that decision to go back into mid a second time that gives James the kill.
Yeah, not just there, but Apex, he was fine in this round, but a couple of the previous, he was pushing out mid in 5v4s, giving picks away. The double B up and push should have been fine. Vitality going 1-for-1, but yeah, Dupree just needed more on that B bomb site. And Outsiders now go back into one of these slow, painful defaults yet again, where Vitality are getting begged to be aggressive. Ooh, Buster, yeah, last second spread has to leave. And scared of close A positions. Magiska's been under Balk many a round, but this time con side. Outsiders at minute 20 going to be regrouping back in the B apartments. Might just be this cat split. Yakinda's out middle. Flip will join him. Plenty of players capable of finding opening kills in this Outsiders roster on the T side. They can be very lethal. This is a bit of an early pump into B, trying to get Vitality's utility out. They're not committing off of this smoke and flash combo. Vitality have almost nothing to throw. One molly for Dupree, and he's still holding it, knowing this is not the commit, not this early, but eventually. 45 seconds now. With that smoke down, with Vitality losing mid-info, it all starts to become clear.
I mean, you say it starts to become clear. This is like one of the big Outsiders problems, though, is it's like, what's the intent behind these smokes? This time it is to get up the catwalk, but so often they're nothing more than a ruse. So here's the B play. Dupree responds and even turns around, dealing with Yakindar up the short side. Masuta cannot pick an angle, and so will get punished eventually. A 3-on-3 ensues, and this time Vitality, they're at least here, they're at least in position. There's a late apartments lurk out of Apex. Rest of the guys in market, they hold for now. They're going to wait for Apex to get deeper. And ZywOo's even spamming the apartments. Starting to give this signal. Yeah, we don't know what's happening in apps, guys. In reality, they do, and Apex is moving in. Jame with a quick flick rids us of Magisk, and they even deal with the apartments, man. ZywOo's got to get out of there. Got to try save this AWP. Outsiders in with the third round. They win it on the back of that mid to B split.
Yeah, Vitality did everything they could there to set that up for Apex, but unfortunately, it's just time at the end of the day. It's so long before even one player moves out market. The Outsiders read it really, really well. not going to fall for the late flank.
And dude, like, being real, you know, like we kind of talked about the util that was used earlier in the round from outsiders. It was very deceptive in nature. They like threw that early B exec with the market window smoke going in, and then they throw util that's sometimes used to, you know, take that con control, play around the smoke. For guys like Flit and Yakindar, they both like doing that, where they play through the con smoke and head out towards stairs or jungle, and that actually kept 3 players for Vitality over at the A bomb site. Yeah. So it's already like a nice bit of misdirection out of outsiders, and this is very much their path back in.
Oh, just behind the boxes. Thank God it wasn't on top. Magiski's now trapped. He has to fight for his life, but the flash is perfect. dupreeh was trying to help him. This is something that we have seen a lot from Vitality in that FaZe game as well on Mirage, where it was dupreeh and Magisk pushing top mid every round on CT side, just taking space with rifles, but there was only one gun there, and it's already gone in no man's land, out of the trenches. ZywOo's now got the only weaponry in this round. No one's even considering going for it. Yakinda's barely moved off his spot. Eventually might regroup with his team. Vitality, this is a great round to make a gamble. And they're heavily leaning B right now. That's including ZywOo's orb. Be amazing to have it back in CT ticket, but without that fact, this is a free A-bomb site. Only one man here. Apex, he's got to hit some bangers with the deagle, but these smokes might just completely cut him off.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it with the Deeg, isn't he? And, you know, we've seen some Apex Deeg moments here on Mirage. We definitely have, but this one...
He's going for the gun.
This one's too far gone already. Yeah, going to go grab that A1S from middle. Yakindar temporarily gave up this area, but now as he goes back in, he's just going to strip one from the ranks of Vitality, and that should seal the deal on a save here. Now it definitely has. ZywOo's just going to look to get out of there with the AWP, and so outsiders, they come into this round up against an AWP, an A1S, and a 4-sport Vitality, and they shut it all down, even removing the AWP at the final hurdle.
Dude, Yakinda's a ballerina. That round, he run boosts over Magisk and somehow survives, and then he just jumps up cat past the ZywOo orb, somehow missing that shot, and denies the save. That's the most important kill of the round, getting the heavy weaponry out of Vitality, getting their point man removed. He's still got money to rebuy. It's coming back again, but, you know, outsiders know more than anyone else the value of saving an AWP and keeping that money for the late game. Pause coming out of Vitality. This was a 6-1 off of those 4 spy wars that they somehow won out in round 3 and went on a 5-round streak. Outsiders have already dispelled it. You just can't count these guys out when they're down.
Oh, over on the A stream, Heroic versus Spirit. Off to a good start for the Danes. Heroic 9-2 up right now, so that's pretty sick.
My Heroic 3-0 pick is feeling pretty safe right now.
Yeah, it's looking good, isn't it? But, mate, you know, one of the things that's kind of cool about this Outsider squad, one of the things that, you know, fans of this team really can get behind is they're so tricky. You kind of can't go to the standard ebbs and flows of a CS game when it comes to countering this team, right? We always talk about conditioning, and the beauty of Outsiders is they don't need to condition in an individual map because you already know how the rounds are going to go long ahead of time, and it doesn't make it any easier to deal with them.
That's a massive opener. It's a fast B split. Finally, a pace change, and they've already lost the first man up. Catwalk, dupreeh doubled up. Late lurk, 4 Flit, finds 2, but Masuta dropped Buster out of the apartments before this CAC player came in. He's offered up a chance for Vitality. Apex on a far faster apps flank this time around. Still really far away as Magisk sitting back on triple. He's going to have to run that rotate. Apex will have to just make early contact, and Flit, he's currently waiting for that uncrouched. Beautiful headshot. Jame in the middle of the bomb site with the AWP, and nothing given to ZywOo. Even a team flash for Magisk, not helping this speed of the retake. Jame hits a headshot, and this round is as good as done. Doesn't even get the AWP. Oh no. Didn't want to go back into the danger zone.
No, I mean, Jame is very, very proficient at not just keeping his own money in check, but making sure yours is in a bad way. And so Magisk doesn't want to test the waters again, going back to get that AWP.
Yeah, just a really awkward round for Magisk, right? From the super late rotation out of B after they saw a double cat lurk and a double apps pop. Like, you're waiting for one lurker on A. That's what Magisk is waiting for, or looking for you know, the cat player to go back to middle. And then he's full wide ZywOo, and then he doesn't save the AWP. Like, it probably couldn't have gone worse for Magisk in that round. And I love the pace change. This is something we saw more at the RMR as well for Outsiders, right? They go from, these really painfully slow defaults where you don't want to use your util. We see how long Dupree's been holding his molly on B, and then suddenly 130, and they're jumping out of apps and double splitting cat, and you're just caught either with nades in hand or with nades on your back pocket, never getting used. And this is the conditioning that Outsiders seem to still be evolving with, seem to still be catching teams off guard with, throwing 1 or 2 rounds in a half where they just run you down and you're not ready for it.
Yeah, and in a matchup like this where they're already kind of doing what they're known for, they're pulling this comeback after a dire start and, still managing to make it competitive regardless. I think you need to be a very composed team. And I think, one of Vitality's kind of problems that they've been very open about is the idea of like meshing these styles together, being on the same page, how sometimes there are just kind of fundamental differences in how they would like to play a situation. I think it's going to be a big test for a guy like Apex to keep himself composed and keep the rest of Vitality composed in moments like this. So now they set up for a bit of an A play on the side of Outsiders. That is a dink out of ZywOo's Deagle. Nothing to write home about yet. He's going to need frags with it. Apex here to help him on the stairs side.
Ouch.
Already Buster's opened up with a double. Magis coming through with this saved A1S. Damage has been done, but still not a single kill found for Vitality. And Outsiders once more are just going to kind of ease off the gas for a moment now. They know that Vitality are going to be scrambling players around the map, and they've still got a whole minute left to play with, so they're going to wait and see what that reaction is before they decide when to recommit.
Yeah, I love this call out of Outsiders. Sometimes in these positions, they like to send roamers into another bomb site, try and get that info. If they die, the other 4 just hit the A site, but they have so little map control. They're just watching their T-spawn flank, and like you said, just delaying so Vitality get in their heads. But, it's impressive Vitality have held on here. Not only have they further pushed into the bomb site, but all 3 players are still in position. We just have so much entry capability for this Outsiders team. Buster's done his work, the double entry. Flitz coming out with one of his own. It just stops him from CT, but James with his AK picked up and kick it to close. It's perfect. It's all Outsiders ever wanted. But yeah, to talk about that like entry capability, obviously it's what your Kinder's most known for. But as Flit has gotten more comfortable in his roles on these T sides, he certainly looked like a guy who can do that. We've already seen the impact he's had coming up cat late and working late mid control. But then sometimes when you see Outsiders, especially towards B on this map, start around Jame, and Buster and Kickit will, or usually Kickit will just be like a bodyguard to Jame and working towards B apps. You can see this AWP find openers as well. And this is for an AWP player who we know as a clutcher, as a closer. It's just so many pieces of the puzzle that can be used on this T side to find 5-on-4s.
Yeah, Buster loves these palace lurks. Always a man for it. That's why, that kind of double kill in the last round doesn't like immediately scream the A play either. He's often the guy responsible for just lurking this side of the map. So, the alarm bells don't go off the moment Buster gets a kill. You kind of go, okay, that's where we expected to find him, and that's where he is.
Ooh. Now Magis just popped Palace, but Buster also stepped. So that info is twofold. Outsiders don't seem to care. They know Magiski's close. He's likely under balcony, they're saying. He is on top this time, but maybe they can get this clear off. He's getting aggressive after Buster's Molotov. He's trapped in front of it now. Oh dear, dinked up. Ramp player's coming out. He is caught, nowhere to go, looking lost and confused. Apex spams a smoke to keep things even, but Buster wiggles and jiggles an entry to Dupree. Outsiders 4-on-3, and Util is cutting Vitality out. Apex stubborn, doesn't want to convince, and does go through over the smoke. Flitz found him, and ZywOo's been forced to save. The guy who started this map off looking unbelievable has had 4 rounds in a row with no impact.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it all stems from that one peak all those rounds ago at 6-1, right? He gets the opener, does ZywOo, goes back to like double dip middle, and then gets caught by Jame. And it's like, that's the Jame effect for you. Right now in the back of your mind, you're going, okay, he's going to be holding for me. I can't keep going for these like aggro re-swings.
Don't you dare.
They're trying to take him down after, in the save again, and they're running at him now. Bomb's gone off. They're on a bit of a
Nice.
timer, and Masuta should have just saved his life.
Oh, no, he peeked!
That re-swing! Why, Zywoo? Why? Punished
Yakinda.
again for another late swing. If he just hid for 1 more millisecond, bro, that would have been the AWP into this round.
When the kill feed's coming into the next round in spawn, that's when you know you've been robbed.
Oh, man.
That's twice now Yakinda's done that.
Dude, and if Zywoo kind of wasn't already getting in his head, that one could be the one that sends him there.
Absolutely, because he feels like he just wants a fight, man. He just wants a 1v1. He hasn't had them in these last 4 or 5 rounds, so that is just horrendous. That is worst case scenario for Vitality.
In his head as well, he's probably thinking like, man, these guys are ready for everything. Like, because he shouldn't have swung there. It goes against all the kind of laws of Counter-Strike. But that was meant to be the genius of it, right? It was meant to be, oh, there's a millisecond left. I'll just get one, duck out, celebrate next round about my little frag.
Such a quick counter strafe from Yakinda. Like, you know, you said it yourself. This guy doesn't need to sell himself more, but he still is, man. His mechanics are otherworldly, and now he's going to farm ecos. You've earned them, Yakinda. Enjoy peeking early with nades out. There's the boost. Can he spray? Down he goes, but Masuta uses that one rifle for a kill. Vitality have nothing to lose here. They're buying up last anyway. They can throw themselves in, especially with what Masuta's giving them.
Yeah, they're exploding out through this short smoke, right? There's 3 of them grouped here, and they want to try go through it. What? Jane, that didn't connect. Uh-oh, that's a little bit weird. Now it's starting to fall apart. Kickout's all the way in the market, late wrapping, but they're on the bomb. They don't have a kit. He is going to get here, maybe with some sort of timing.
No way.
Would have to go out the window, and that's just not going to happen. This round sails by, and so Outsiders, their 6-round streak is brought to a close, finally, and so much of it coming from Masuta on the short side with that one A1S.
That is insanity. I don't know how he does it. This is the late peak from Zywoo. The millisecond death just eviscerated. Ragdoll doesn't even fall, Harry. He's already gone. But a nice retake for Masuta, man. That came out of absolutely nowhere. Big dig from Apex, jumping out of market window, clearing E-Box, and all the pieces came together there for Vitality. Not a team that often overfaces and post-plants for Outsiders, but they kind of constricted there. Yakinda's been hit early by the AWP. Maybe this is the way in. Maybe Vitality can bite back at the end of the half, and 8 would be fine. It would be decent on the CT side of Mirage. The one map, actually, if we look at from the Challenger stage alone, that's actually 50-50 in rounds CT and T. We've had a lot of maps coming through very CT-sided, like Vertigo and Nuke. Not even as much Ancient. Dust 2's more CT-sided. But Mirage, right down the middle, and that's where Zywoo is, finding that opener.
Oh, but Yakinda there to trade, and once again, man, Zywoo's trying to get stuck in, tries to go play for even more glory in top mid, and he's silenced. 4v4 now. Flit trying to get up Con. And I mean, middle is so scary with Yakinda and Flit in the same team.
Nade down.
Oh, the nade pull for Apex. That mental timer of Yakinda getting to Con is thrown off by the fact it's Flit making contact out of lower. And Buster, late lurk out of Palace. As mentioned, man, it's tried, it's tested for this guy, and he's turned the advantage back to the Outsiders. A 3v2 as they start to move in. Masuta still anchoring B, because you're never certain when you're up against this squad as to whether or not it is this play till that bomb's gone down, and now it's going to dawn on Vitality.
Oh, he's on the angle. Yeah, bye-bye. Kicker gets that from afar. He found that from ramp, in fact. It wasn't Yakinda who was close triple, but he's ready to close instead. Masuta tries to clear it and crouch below it, and no scope for the end of the half. That is Outsiders 8-7 from a 6-1 down scoreline. They eviscerate Vitality. What an incredible game we're getting right now. And this one has to feel frustrating again. Zywoo, 5-on-4, re-aggros, gets dropped. Poor Apex, who, like you said, wasn't considering that the AWP that he just seen picked up by Yakinda was ever going to move towards him. He takes one jiggle, and in that jiggle, his opponent is on the corner. Nice closing AWP kills for Outsiders. And this is poised very well for the CIS squad. Those odds have flipped.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the nature of the beast, man. That's how she goes when you're up against this Outsiders squad. No start means anything when they're the ones who can finish strong. It's a bit of a kind of A-side retake setup almost, but there isn't like a kit, so it's it's just like this double CTP kind of Kicker and Jame. This does kind of put a bit of a pressure on this CT side. They need to hold and get one, and Kicker and Flit will deliver.
How's 2 do?
Yeah, not really. You know, Flit wasn't really the guy in the runnings for it. He was smoked off at stairs, but catches them over the top of that jungle smoke. And so this gets very, very awkward now. Vitality, that smoke's really off the mark. There is a huge gap in it. It was just throwing out a necessity to try and make something of this round entirely on the fly. And it's all starting to fall apart. Dupree and Magisk.
Look at Flit. Just sits in the fade. Outsiders are flexing their muscles right now. They're feeling it. It's all coming together. This pistol is good, and it's done. Magisk dead at the back of the site. 3 from Flit, and that CT setup is perfect. We wondered, no kit, Harry, that could be a problem. Well, not if the bomb never makes it into the site. Very scary for Vitality. Very concerning. But not the team you want to be facing 0-1 down either, right? As much as we thought maybe, you know, the reality check v Nip would warm them up, bump them up. Maybe like FaZe later. But yeah, Outsiders a team that can you can never get comfortable against. This is not a squad that many expected to make a run at this major given everything surrounding them and the prospect of roster changes confirmed regardless of results. But in this form, a team that made top 8 last time, hey, they could do it again.
Yeah, I like, you know, Vitality going for this existed style pause, you know, just kind of waiting around, having a discussion about how they want to play it with the rifles next.
When in Belgium.
Exactly, it is the time and the place. Kin now wants to try and farm some of these. The little rumbush will offset his crosshair a lot, and so he gets churned up. Now, you're hoping the rest of these rifles just reel it in, and they will. Flit from Con with that double up has made it a real rough round, but it was never meant to get too exciting. And so they will just spam him out. For Vitality, they put a lot of energy into talking about this round that's coming down the pipeline now. If they don't hit the ground running here, Outsiders might be the one making out like a bandit here and going for one hell of a turnaround. I know you've said it already, but from 6-1 down, they're now up in the lead at 10-7.
I say it again, Harry, just give it a couple more rounds. It gets even tastier the further this scoreline gets out of control. Full rifles, no AWP. James got his though, fast into middle. This AWP sat back on the A side and steals that kill right away from kicking on ramp. Magisk dead first, no teammate to trade. They're still mid-defaulting, trying to come out from under is Apex. Looking for some vengeance after how that first half went towards this exact position. Yakinda deletes Dupree, and he's ready for an underplay as well. The Molly's going to force a decision out of Apex, forward or back. He's somehow hidden in the crack between the wall and the fire. Popcorn smoke so we can try and fight Yakinda, but this guy's already changed position, gone up into the ladder. Has good info out under and even hungrier for a kill to Con if Apex crosses it. Is he ready for the angle? Doesn't look like it. Kick it now back to CT, jumping and spotting the scene 2.
He's going to go swinging out. Now that's a good turn out of Masuta.
Wait, what?
Wait.
His molly under. He jumped into his molly under. Okay. It was still going.
This could get a little weird now. It could get a little odd in the 3v2. Masuta's even taken deep CT. There's 2 players coming his way. Flash in. It's a good flashbang. They're both blind. And a lot of damage out of Masuta. And the info that both these remaining players were coming from the CT side. Now ZywOo out inside a ramp is good for that first. Jame, the man left to beat. And it was Jame who sent ZywOo into the Mind Palace in the first place. Well, now from triple, ZywOo knows that James made it across, made it into the site, feeling the pressure, and James will deliver, just consistently countering this AWP star of Vitality and getting that defuse with milliseconds to spare. James bests him again.
Nice try for Vitality, man. That was a 2-on-5, man. Certainly assisted by Yakinda. I think it wasn't HE that he threw mid and then he jumped into it too early. Unless he had another Molotov, I don't know. But after... Oh, it was full damage.
Just full damage.
Full damage. Yakinda, my man. Not the smoothest way to go out, but his team do him justice. James locks in the clutch against ZywOo. That pressure of crossing to default as well. ZywOo had to move. If James sticks that, he wins as well. So it's kind of lose-lose for ZywOo, unless he wins that immediate gunfight. Yeah, I can't explain Yakinda away. I didn't think he was that low, but hey, gravity hits, man. It hurts.
Playing versus James like this, it must just be so frustrating. Like, for someone who, even in moments like that, you know, he plays it like so safe in the sense of, I think a lot of players might have tried to rush that fight a little bit quicker, or maybe committed to a defuse, but he's so comfortable like playing within the remits of that clock on the very edge. And for someone who kind of does take such a passive approach, it's amazing how suffocating he feels.
Oh, I love the pace out of Magisk. Look how deep he's gotten in just the opening seconds with that window smoke. James wanted to fight, but he's been relegated now to market, trading positions with Flit. Yakinda spotted. He used his spot last time, and now he's trapped. He's dropped off. Magisk doesn't know. He could have heard the drop, though. The smoke will give it away if Yakinda cuts himself off, but it's a Molotov instead to force repositions. He's still got to worry about the top and middle. If they double face, they could easily take fights here, but right now just getting wallbanged by the scout. Going to try and dive out, hit that timing, hit that golden zone where Yakinda can survive. He's been hit low, though. Maybe he takes the AWP from Jamie, is near him, but Yakinda, not a necessity to run that AW yet. Buster re-aggressing, and right now this is the one position where only the Deagle is watching. Masuta from chair flits in and out like a light, and Buster's ready to set this round on fire.
They've seen him now, though. They're going to swing him together. That's a very convincing scout shot out of Apex. And with so much damage done to Flit and Yakinda, this is still a weird spot to be in. Yakinda's not playing like he's low, though. He's pushed all the way through the apartments. Is going to leave him in the back line as this B play comes in. Flit, the other man with low HP, is also here. Now, you would love Flit to be like drawing them in. But it doesn't matter. Yakinda's still going to find his impact. With Flit so low, they don't risk it. And he goes swinging a little bit later on the tap out of that bomb. It's only Apex left. Onto the AK. Wow. And Flit runs at him, runs him down, and puts 12 on the board for Outsiders.
I love the trading of contact there. Yeah, you said it yourself. Like, it would have been great for Flit to show something, but they were on his angle. If he peeks market, he dies. He just lets Yakinda with the most surprising position in the round play. Then he swings out, stops ZywOo off the plant. And that's when you expect Yakinda to get back involved, but it's Flit to close. Outsiders don't always let you guess right. Sometimes they catch you by surprise. 12-7. An empty T-half right now for Vitality, but another full buy. One that's left Magisk with only a Mac. But ZywOo's got his AWP. He's going to take it Palace bound, looking for deep picks. Might find Yakinda towards jungle if he hangs around, but it's only kicking on Balk at the moment.
Yeah, one and done is all right. You know, it's given time for the rest of the gang to get into position. A missed shot out of James. They will make it to Tetris, but they don't make it any further than that. The molly might have gone in, but it's still the kill for James AWP.
You know, compare just these halves, right? Like Vitality, when they were CT, they were never assured to rotate. They were never comfortable leaving their bomb sites. Right now, Vitality, Outsiders, had 5 players on A in the first few seconds. In front of that smoke for Yakinda, absolutely robs ZywOo. Set up by James, and ZywOo falls right for it. Magiska's upgraded. He dropped his Mac at the back, so they don't know he's here, but he's made steps. And that should start to call rotations over. Look at this bomb, man. He's even mollied himself. Magisk's util has been a little shaky this map so far. It's going to delay him. Time, not a problem yet, but it will soon be. 40 seconds crossing back under. So scared of a repeat, but it's Yakinda who's his first concern.
Yeah, well dodged the AWP shot. Magisk gonna go back in, tries the best in, but James has got Yakinda's back through and through. Outsiders chaining these rounds together to open up this second half. And Vitality, they're running on borrowed time right now. If it keeps going like this, Outsiders will have had their way with them and made it look easy.
Yeah, on fire now. And yeah, Vitality have had no way to fake Outsiders out, mainly because we've not had these like slow down 4v4s, 3v3s where they can mid-round, and that's like where Apex can do some of his best work. That's not really been allowed. These rounds have been super decisive, super one-sided. And Vitality have always committed. as a unit, which is great if you're getting those entries and you're trading. But right now, nothing screaming that. Util coming through, Vitality being loud about it, running over the bomb site. Masuta chasing this CT player, could find this kill, but Kicker stops him.
Yeah, just going to fall back, play a lot more passive. Yeah, you'll give them a little nook, a little cranny over towards CT, but flashing back in for Kicker is nice. AK retrieved now in the hands of Magist, right? He's dealt with one of these CT players, but there's a lot more left to come from. The nades have whittled him down low. They know they've got him trapped. He's doing everything he can to fight for this CT control, but ultimately the flash wrecks him. ZywOo, a big rotate into middle, but Yakindar's holding for this. He hears the footsteps, he knows what's happening, and so ZywOo's been cancelled out. Apex dead. And Outsiders quickly regain control over that round. It just looks so composed. It's like they're one step ahead of Vitality before Vitality even know what they're doing next.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing the entire round to wait for that flank, and they don't even know it's coming. Like, they have no idea until Yakinda hears ZywOo in mid finally. But the whole time, he is holding that back flank while Outsiders just try and take CT control back. The first position they give up and completely give away, and they just constant cycle nades and flashes to retake triple control. It's so clean right now for Outsiders. If the T side wasn't a masterclass in recovery arcs, this CT side has just been everything they need and more. Final timeout called for Vitality here. But is there any hope? Is there any coming back when Outsiders are looking like this?
I mean, dude, I think this game as well is just showcasing how when Flit moved into this team over Sanji, you know, for the last major cycle, why it really was just such a flat upgrade. It's given so many more options to Outsiders. You know, before, Yakindar used to be the guy that would be let off the leash a little bit and allowed to break free from James' slow kind of system. But Flit very much fits into that category as well. And so you're always looking over your shoulder, worrying that one of these two guys is getting a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
This round.
It feels like we haven't had like the downside of like, oh no, what are they going to do? How are they going to fund James Orp? It feels like he still has it just as much.
Yeah, I think if anything, you know, maybe it's the reason you see James attempt like less crazy clutches now, because he is just reliant on himself. He doesn't have bank account Sanji to throw it over, right? So maybe for him individually, it's not been so hot, but man, he still carries a lot of impact, and it's just kind of refined his like passive style even further.
Yeah. All right. Vitality got given mid this round, and they've done a lot with it. They've got ladder, they've got connector. This is, so far, all the makings to a good start to a round, but Yakindar wants to push up and get involved on that smoke fade. It will be soon. Flit's holding for Dupree. He's kind of trapped right now, although Flit's just moved away. Yakinda's in the smoke fade. Oh, he doesn't see him, but Dupree saves the round. Opening kill, but there's the instant trade for Buster. You don't get long to relax. Kicker coming in from lower Apex delivers a death the way of Outsiders, and finally Vitality are 4-on-3 up.
Yeah, good place to be in, right? Good place to find themselves. Now they've just got to deliver on the round. Masuta with a double opener. Oh, and even looking for Buster on the catwalk. He's in a 1v3. They're already overrunning this bomb site, and there's ZywOo with the close. That is like one of the only positives that ZywOo's had. Like, he's finally put an end to a round. He's had all these chances, all these moments where like it could have been him rising to the occasion, and he started his series off incredibly. He was like 12-3 at one point in time.
Now 16-16.
Yeah, so, you know, it had been a real slowdown, but you finally just get that kill that puts a round on the board, that ends it, that puts 8 up there for Vitality. And you're hoping that, you know, you can get a little bit more out of him. We saw how good it was looking with how lights out he was early on.
Oh, yeah. I was waiting for it. The molly and window completely ruins Vitality's smoke, so Yakinda just gets a 5-on-4 this time. No ifs or buts. No awkward trades. Yakinda even wants to go back for more. Incessant to take advantage. Vitality go cold in middle with 3 players. They could boost window. That would be a way in. It's only Flit right now, but he's just moved back into position. Dupree's playing on the lip. Flit will see him if he stays on this other side of window. This fade is coming through. Both players ready. Who hits it? It's Flit first. Finds that conversion spray. Yakinda pushing up. All the eyes are on window, and Flit's taken 2 with him. ZywOo can't hit the shot, and it's all Magisk. Lurked late out of A, ready for a 15th round from Outsiders.
Dude, it's beautiful, man, and that's that Flit Yakindar like duo that we just highlighted a couple of rounds ago. You know, early on when Flit joined this team, some folks were kind of worried because there was a bit of role overlap between him and Yakindar. But in this game right now, you're seeing how beautiful it can look. Right, they're on the same page, they're synergized, they're just trading these peaks in middle, and it's entirely off limits to Vitality.
What a game, man. What a game. And this has been on a pretty good map for Vitality, one that they, you know, have started to streak wins together on after a shaky beginning with this roster, with some of these players getting acclimatized. But yeah, this has been a MTT side. One round is all Vitality can rest their head on. An A pop, a nice explosion. Outsiders playing full retake, no one in the site. They're going to have to fight for it in the post plant. Or maybe they don't wait. Maybe they don't give any respect over. Through the smoke on both ways. Kicker goes through, but he can't convert the spray. 90 damage on 2 players. Yakinda's here to finish the job.
And he's still hanging around. Hasn't elected to go back. Oh, a second kill offers itself up to Yakindar. And now Vitality fighting through the CT smoke. Masuta dead. Dupree versus Flit. Low on health, but he spammed out. Flit was not meant to win that one. And he does. Never even sees him. But it was never a worry. A huge round out of Flit and Yakindar to find 16 for the Outsiders. And they now find themselves 1-1. For Vitality, it's all setting in. 0-2 in the Legend stage. They're going to have to try and recover in the BO3.
Apex looks devastated, man. This is not a good spot to be in for Vitality, right? They performed the opposite way, Harry, coming through that last stage of Challengers. 3-0, they were looking incredible, right? Dominating complexity in their opening game. 2-1-ing FaZe, a very well-earned place from FaZe as they went 2-up themselves and fell in the final matchup. But another CIS squad to take Vitality to their limits. And this time, there's no limitations for Outsiders. Yakindar got hyped at the end of that one as well. He was shouting a little bit. He's feeling fantastic. And Outsiders, who top 8 last major, are looking to go there again.
Yeah, man. And you know, I like to think that like maybe a part of that from Flit is for Jerry and the boys. You know, a bit of revenge over Vitality, who were the beginning of that kind of big old downfall for FaZe, who obviously just missed out on making it to the Legend stage. Dude, this was like if you were to go and like describe why Outsiders are so frustrating to play against, you could just look at this game right here. You know, the strong start means nothing versus a team that have the strongest endings. And I think that's why I really hope that Outsiders do make a run here, right? If the rumors are true, if this idea that this could be the last outing for this iteration of the squad, then I really hope that they can give us exactly what they're known for.
Go out with a bang.
Exactly, right? Go out with a bang. They're good at big endings, they're good at big finishes, and I hope this is a big finish for this squad because, man, that was just a treat to watch. And I really struggle to see a world where we have a team like come along and be able to replicate the formula that this Outsiders squad have to go off of.
Yeah, I definitely think, you know, not to talk too much about the potential changes that this team might go through. And I think obviously the big one is just likely losing Yakindar. I hope at least the core stays together. And even if they don't, I do have a lot of wonder for where James going to go. You know, what team will you know, whether he'll bring his style to another team and look as good in the future. But man of the match, and absolutely no doubt about it, was Yakindar. Flit, definitely a notable mention there. That CT side combo with them on Window and Cat, we saw it in the final couple of rounds, just shredding Vitality. And yeah, the young Latvian puts up another top performance today to take down this BO1.
Yeah, man. Dude, it was just him and Flit. Like, early on, it was very much Yakindar who kind of spurred on that turnaround from the 6-1 scoreline, right? He was keeping it competitive. Even in the rounds where their arm were just Eagles, he was still finding a lot of impact. And then you have that activation of Flit moving into the second half. It just becomes so hostile, so scary. And it's like, even when you look at someone like James, who was bottom of the scoreboard, well, he did win rounds for the Outsiders. For sure. Not just on the back of his cooling, but I mean individually. And I think it was him getting ahead of ZywOo in that early battle that very much sent ZywOo into like the doldrums of his head. You know, he suddenly just couldn't replicate that form he showed in the first 7 rounds, and so much of it was spurred on by that one overpeak in middle. That was like the first domino to fall, and suddenly all that impact that he was having was just eliminated from play. And I think a lot of that comes off of James, who wasn't even, you know, risen up through the rankings in terms of kills. He was just kind of winning the fights he had to when he had to.
Yeah, another great game, and well, we got plenty more of that, more hearts to be broken in these 0-1 matches. Coming up next here on the B stream is going to be BNE taking on the FaZe clan, so stick with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Now that's what we call major. 14 days of high-octane action. 14 days of fierce battles.
Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow doubt, and I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. Feelings, it's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know my heartbeat needed skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic, no, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby. I'm getting freaky. Everybody know I'm a visual. Yeah, I kill it cold like a criminal. I'm everybody's type, but nobody can deny. Yes, you know I get it. 나는 아무리 봐도 I'm getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on. Get that freaky on. I'm getting freaky. Get it right. Get that freaky on. 신경 끄고 다 같이 freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on. Get that freaky. I'm getting freaky. Get it right. 상관하지 마. I'm getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on. Get that freaky on. I'm getting freaky. Get it right. 상관하지 마. I'll be on the top killer. I'll be on the top winner. I'll be on the top killer. I'll be on the top 'cause I only know it. I'm a red. I'm getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on. Get that freaky. I'm getting freaky. Get it right. Get that freaky on. 신경 끄고 다 같이 freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on. Get that freaky. I'm getting freaky. Get it right. 상관하지 마. I'm getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on. Get that freaky. I'll be on the top killer. I'll be on the top winner. I'll be on the top killer. I'll be on the top 'cause I only know it. I'm a red. Get that freaky on. Get that freaky. Get that freaky on. Get that freaky. I've been watching you with dark eyes every night. Counting up your sins, I keep a list and checking it twice. I know where you've been, I smell the sin and you're looking nice. You can't bury me. You don't never know. I'm still broken in the gutter. It's just me on my side, but I leave you with the shudder. I got goals you don't wanna know. I got goals you don't wanna grow. Trying to forget I'm in your head, shatter up your spine. Try not to choke, a funny joke when you say you're mine. Lost your control, think you're alone, I'm still in your mind. You can't bury me. You don't never know. I'm still broken in the gutter. It's just me on my side, but I leave you with the shudder. close, you don't wanna know.
Again, nothing is sacred here, Harry, at the Legend stage. Spirit are up 2-0 for crying out loud.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's one of these things where when you have so many players at a major for the first time, right, it kind of creates a very unique atmosphere where they're either going to be amped up by the fact that they're here or they're going to fall short. And, you know, you kind of mentioned Team Spirit already. For folks like Patsy and Siren, it's clearly firing them up, right? It's clearly making them raise their level. For the Bad News Eagles, it's a situation where kind of everyone falls into that remit. So I do think there's maybe like more room for it to shift around the extremities. Maybe you'll have some guys having games of a lifetime while others are struggling a little bit more. You know, when you look at FaZe, it's obviously a lot safer because of the experience on this team. You know, they've been in these positions before. They've been at majors before. Hell, you know, for guys like Harry, they've been in major grand finals before, right? So yeah, you know, there's a hell of a lot here that you can kind of look at and say, well, FaZe should be the favorites, and they definitely are the favorites. But as you said, nothing's sacred, nothing's set in stone.
Yeah, I think mentality is a big thing here for FaZe. I think they're going to have the you know, upper edge on it. If BNE start getting shredded, you know, are they going to be able to stay in the game as easy? They're very, you know, as you said, new to this level, but also right, you don't want those emotions to get out of control. I think FaZe, as an org, released a really good video the other day about Robin and about, you know, just showed some of the things that he was saying to FaZe coming into matches, how he was hyping them up, how he was keeping them, you know, calm at moments, making sure they don't tilt when you lose silly rounds, all these things that do happen and will happen every time you play an official at this level. And so I think mentality-wise, FaZe are I hope, going to be coming in with a better mindset than maybe Vitality did in that last game where they kind of just fell apart at halftime. You know, whether that will translate into the server, we'll have to wait and see. But with Ancient as our map pick, this is going to be a spicy BO1, Harry.
Yeah, you know, I think as well, we kind of talk about it as, you know, teams here that have already been playing through the Challenger stage, they're coming in like warmed up, right?
Yes.
FaZe, they've been boot camping, sure, but they haven't been in the atmosphere of being at the major, playing these officials, playing these live games. Look at Rain sliding around the place. Look at that. You ever seen anything like it? Da-da-da, look at him go.
Skiing.
It's Rain in the cave. Oh, baby.
He's skiing, man. He's on his sliders right now. Healy's on for Rain. But he's got to wheel himself out of there. GXX deleted by the tap, and now the B site gets taken.
Yeah, he's opened up with the first. Carrigan, smoke spam goes a long way. Even though Regon's going to turn it around and deal with Rain. Bomb now planted, and a 4-on-3 ensues. It's a late lurk out of Rops all the way up the lane side. No one's holding for this right now. And Carrigan's found himself another. Synopsy on the receiving end of that. So now Scenari and Regon have got to get it over the line. There's one kill out of this Glock at ramp.
Rops!
Oh, he's whiffed it. Those are not Rob shots that often miss. Twists now, 1v1.
No
Needs
time
to finish what Carrigan and Rain started, but the timer's going to elude him, and Regon puts one in the dome. Considering that as that plant comes in for a moment, you know, you were 2 men up on the FaZe clan side. You thought they had that in the bag. But it is a turnaround out of Bad News Eagles, and they're going to find the pistol to open up their T side.
Very scary, very, very scary. And yeah, like you said, not a Rops whiff, not a guy that we ever really see, you know, look in too deep and just missing his headshots. So that's not a great sign for FaZe in the pistol round as they drop a 2-on-4. But regardless, they've got to make do with what they got. UMP and Scout with some surrounding pistols. Rain on the first man to really find his stick with the wall bangs here towards K. The twist is gone, dead through the smoke. Rops gets run down by Mac-10s in A main, and this should just be the A split. FaZe know what's up. They peeled completely out of B. Carrigan's right out. They're just running at him. He tried to beat that deep CT smoke thrown over from middle, but it's denied. In the temple, headshot is brokey, and FaZe barely get a bite into this meal that is the second round. Rain's got to save that scout and BNE. They're coming.
Yeah, will he get away?
Terrifying. They're coming up from ledge as well, so they should be able to clear him. There's a spot. Rain with the Deagle will not connect, and GXX finds 2 exits there to put the round on the board for BNE, 5 up. And so money is going to be swelling to start this series. FaZe, they've got to whack some ointment on it. But it's not going to be in this round. Just pistols yet again. Robs with a bit of Kev. BNE heading B.
Yeah, that third one just kind of waiting in the wings, right? It's a bit of formality.
Very early.
Carrigan wanted to peek there, wanted to go swinging, was hoping it would set him up, but okay, Rain's going to be the man to strike first. Regon just smokes Carrigan off and kind of gives him his due respect over here in Cave. Oh, Carrigan's gone through, and Recon turns on a dime. So that attempt at the push, man, the timing that could have been found, it just eludes FaZe Clan. BNE haven't even really revealed their hand yet. Thus far, you've seen what, you know, like these 2 guys over towards B. Other than that, nothing else has really come through to give up the aim of the game as to where this one's heading. And now the B smokes come in. Now it dawns on FaZe.
Try and bait in for the player in the smoke. It's Rain. Molly fortunately misses, but a resmoke will buy more time for that pot. It's very open. Rain can spam. He's not aiming on the right spot, though. Synopsy will get away with it, and that should just be the round 1 as a result. Synopsy even spams out Rain. Deke does connect for a sec. Hello, Robson Brokey. These rotates coming quick, and no whiff on the flank this time leaves Synopsy in the clutch. 1v2, and no kit for FaZe. They've got to find this kill ASAP. They think he's wrapping them long. Checking their backline should limit them to only ramp. Now they know Robson up close, and he hits the headshot. Should just be enough time for this round. I said it wasn't FaZe's, but I was wrong. Pistols stolen away with some Deagles, and Rops to get 2, more than makes up for his pistol round.
Yeah, that's a nice round to find, man. Like, Carrigan knows those ones are kind of a dime a dozen, right? You don't get them every day, so when that comes down the pipeline, it's going to be a bit of a confidence booster here. A chance for FaZe to right the course of Ancient early on and slow down this hot start from the Bad News Eagles. Orp in tow for GXX. Brokey's got his now over on the FaZe side of things. So there's even a chance of this clash of the Orp players.
We even got that quick molly to stop FaZe, either run boosting or just climbing up ledge early. Thrown from T-spawn. It's a 5-man B setup, that's why, right? They have no mid info, no control. So they don't know where FaZe are going in middle. It's just Twist tucked in with that info. Right now, they're just going for an early B-pop, it seems. Throwing the full execute. Rain with a spam. We are waiting for it. It makes its mark very early. Carrigan with a spray is converted onto by Regon, but it's still a 2-on-3. BNE in hot water, but that's a hot shot for Synopsy, and suddenly there's hope yet.
Yeah, do they want to follow through with the B play though, right? Because with Twists here on the lane side, FaZe know it's B, and Brokey, that's clean. His AWP immediately makes itself known in a very big way. Brokey with a gnarly triple immediately ties this game up. Now Bad News Eagles, their money down in the dumps.
Yeah, they should have had an extra round for free, right? Just to build up that cash, and therefore this would have been a buy, but all down to the Rops Deeg that put them on pistols in the 5th. Not much at all. 1 Deagle to 3 Deagles. Just looking to pop some noggins, but Synopsy on the boost quick. Carrigan is safe, fortunately enough, throwing lineup smokes down for the ramp. Rain wants to meet them there, but they're holding many a men with many a pistol, and Rain only get a farm up 1. It's a lot of info. You know, BNE a heavy B lean. That's a good recovery from Carrigan, who didn't clear the corner. And 1 flat throw dead. Another entry attempt denied by Carrigan. He should have been dead immediately there. But instead, he keeps this round phases, and he keeps it clean as Scenario looks to make money on the way out. Bye-bye.
I'm going to ask that you stop calling things ahead of time. It feels like you're putting a bit of a curse in play.
Yes.
Right, Scenari.
He's going to get wallbanged.
No. How many does he get with the MP9?
Ah, 0, man. Scenario.
All
no
right.
chance.
Ooh. Found the gap. Carrigan. Carrigan.
Oh.
Going to hold the line, isn't he, with the 4th?
Yeah.
Yeah, very clean stuff out of Carrigan there in the B-hold. It really felt like he was in such a dangerous position. It's a bit of a miracle that he gets out with 4 at the end of things. You know, he's 20 health after that first fight and was out on an island just dueling for ramp control. And yet no one could land a bullet on him. Bad News Eagles now going to call in attack timeout. They want solutions and they want them quickly. I'm really curious with how they try to deal with this Brokey AWP. Watching this guy open, man, it's been probably one of the best things about 2022. How he's been writing himself into the history books, and I don't think we necessarily saw the best foot put forward by FaZe to open up here. So maybe it's ignited a bit of a fire underneath guys like Brokey. Certainly as for Carrigan, who's taken that loss very personally and is trying to duel his way to success in this one. It's a quad B lean early for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've seen out of B&E, right? Them just going for heavy B hits. So FaZe want to try and fight it back. Oh my god, what a whiff for Synopsy. Twistful Blinds turns on a dime and delivers an opener here for FaZe. Rob's trapped up in main, continues that spray control, but already they're running out of donut. Brokey's here just in time to try and help out, but not before Rops gets picked. Brokey responds, knowing there are 2 more towards his A site. They're sticking it. That's ballsy. While half the team aren't even in the bomb site yet. Trapped in middle is Flatro, looking to fight his way out. Twist in the smoke again, gets killed. But Brokey's got to do it all on his own. Carrigan's only just getting here.
Oh, swung up close, Scenari deals with the man and goes on to double. It's 3 in total for him as he breaks apart that A-hold. Bad News Eagles back on the board. Looking good as they adorn. Red jerseys, man.
Yeah, I like him. You know, that round, I don't know how they convert, considering Twist comes through that smoke, not only getting the kill onto Synopsy, was it, but then even just clears the entirety of B lane. FaZe may have started for B, that was the problem, but they immediately got the info seconds into the round and just set everyone up for those rotates. But Rob's getting caught by the quick donut swing. Brokey only going 1 for 1. And Scenari with a pop-off round. FaZe's money is still fine to buy. Carrigan's going to be left to the wayside, but maybe Robs could set him up with something. Regardless, already a techie going on early in this game. 6 rounds deep, very back and forth. FaZe just trying to keep their head in it, stay focused.
I mean, dude, like, you know, Scenari's just so, like, you kind of see it in that moment there when he's in these kind of positions where it's like all on him to try and have a big moment, to try and make some magic happen before our very eyes. It feels like that's where he thrives. It really does. I mean, it was him who tried to go for a graffiti-worthy clutch on that nuke bomb site right over on A. Dude, like, I mean, you know, if those are the kind of rounds he's capable of churning out, it shows why there's so much potential for Bad News Eagles, right? It's like even as you kind of work it down at a very individual level, there's just so much talent here. So much talent that hasn't really had this exposure to the mainstream, as it were, you know? And they're trying to relish in that opportunity.
Yeah, it really is just a case study of how anyone can make it, right? Like that's what the majors have always been about, and not just in offering so many regions, qualification paths through all over the world, but even just for these guys who have come through from, you know, FPL, many of them, and made a name there and grinded through officials, played so many online games, formed this squad, and have now made it to top 16 at a major and are still competitive, right? It's not like they've fluked their way here through easy matchups and we're expecting to see them get, you know, destroyed. B&E, one of the many teams that could absolutely go through to the playoffs right now, especially if they start off by taking down FaZe, who may be on a cold day. We already saw them very, very quiet against Enso Mirage. And I think this map is, you know, kind of perfect for an upset. Brokey's got his AWP in. Carrigan's gone for the MP9. Fielded with some utility. GXX has got the AWP out as well. Looking for a mid spawn, it seems. FaZe have yet to try and take ledge from middle. Been keen to pop out through that smoke. But B&E are the ones who want B. Again, 4 strong, even a 5th after that mid molly gets thrown in. Fine play with no map control. And so far, it hasn't let them down.
Oh, mate, if Rain were to go for a peek there, you were feeling nervous for him. Carrigan as well. Really feels like FaZe want to try and duel for this lane control. However, it does betray them in this round. Brokey with his AWP making a stand.
What?
So low, but he's able to get out of there. And that kill, that one that just gets away, that AWP still being alive, it's just as deadly on 6 points of health as he is on 100.
Oh, they know he's here. That smoke, that's going to slow things down. He's going to try to spam out the plants, the one that FaZe even tried to bring into use at the start of this map's edition. Synopsy spammed out Rops though, but there's a bit of revenge for Twist. Brokey's holding for a late lug. It's not coming through. If FaZe want to go, they have to decide right now.
Yeah, time's of the essence. That flash to set up Juan Flatro. Oh, it's pretty. A 2v2. Brokey, I said he was deadly, even at 6 points of health. He needs to show that now. Rain alongside him. Juan Flatro still inside of the site, swinging out. Deals with the burst, but can't follow up. And so Rain will trade it.
No kit.
Going to be close without the kit, but I think it's still good for FaZe.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Not even close. 4-3 in the last second retake as well. That was very scary. They went back to check their backline, right? We've had a lot of, kind of suffocating post plants here for B&E. They pulled out that sick 2v4 in the pistol, but, often they've just been constricted to ramp and close cave. And FaZe have often been the ones flanking the latter. That plant gives a little bit more room for ramp players to actually tuck in. When it's on pillar, you have to swing so wide to try and stop a defuse. FaZe lobbing in that wall of Molotovs towards B. They've really been, through trial and error, taking this lane control back. Carrigan respects it this time around. For now, Twist waiting, but there's a flash through. Won't do a thing. He sees players cross through. He knows he's getting chased down, and Twist is good for a double. Picks one out of thin air and finally goes down, but his job is done. Rops in the bomb site. They didn't see him get tucked in either, and this AWP is only baiting 4 Rops, who will recover and take down GXS. This round is quickly falling apart.
Yeah, you're on a bit of a damage-dealing mission here if you're Synopsy. I know they've got him boxed in. He can't go back to middle. He's got to fight forward into this side of the map. Flashes through, tries to play around them. But Brokey is on that angle and won't let up. Him and Rops able to hold down that A play. A nice little kind of bait and switch between the two of them, right, with Rops over tucked at the big box. And so FaZe are looking good out of the gate, right? From that early turnaround in the third to only letting Bad News Eagles get these one-and-done rounds past them. That's now a successful retake of the B site and a flat-out, repelling of the A play.
Yeah, I wonder if you see more mid-takes like that, because B&E have been given a lot of respect in middle, right? It's been Twist who's been getting caught out through smokes, having to drop his own one way. Brokey's rarely been there with the AWP. Again, Carrigan, a new round, same objective, take lane back, but not the result he wanted. Double pistol opener as Rain also fell towards Cave. Right now, it's only Brokey on B. He's not got the auto fire. He's got to pick a player out with every shot he takes, or they're getting close.
Yeah, smoked off at the short side. His window to play into the round is now closed.
Are they done?
One plant now in. FaZe, man, you've got to be feeling hesitant to give this one up, but it might be the only call, the right call in a bad spot to have to make. They just concede this. And Bad News Eagles, man, I kind of hope that we see them, getting the better of this lane control, because it's been a real consistency. It feels like that is very much the game plan from FaZe, as to disrupt these B hits, which can be really strong for the Eagles, man. They've been constantly trying to fight cave, fight down ramp, and to, we'll call it a mixed bag of results. I think it's something where if Bad News Eagles are patient here, and are ready, knowledgeable that that fight's going to be offered to them nigh on every round, that could be their way in.
FaZe can't keep going for it, right? It's just not been fruitful at all. I think they've got one successful round out of it when Twist comes through the smoke and Synopsy's full blind and whiffs his spray, but that's not a common factor. We need to see a better solution towards B for FaZe. Because also the retakes have been pretty good, right? But the problem is when you, like you said, allow BNE to run these executes, FaZe kind of can't stay in the bomb site when the full exit comes in. When you have double molly, double smoke, there's nowhere to play but the middle of the open. FaZe don't want a 5-on-5 retake. They're trying to thin the herd early. They're doing good damage with nades, with spam, but the kills are coming up BNE, jumping into middle. Twist is finally there, and a little more aggressive in the middle area. Bailed out by Brokey's flashbang. He can escape to safety. He's even playing a one-way. Karrigan dueling ramp still. He will go down. It's up to Rain in cave.
Yeah, mollied off, tries to play ahead of it. Now that could spread. It could box him in. He's left fighting. Rain's good for the first. Brokey, that's a lovely shot out of the AWP. And now GXX alone tries to deal with that man in rotation. Rops will get the better of him. And so this B retake comes together for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, far cleaner, right? This time they actually have more mid control. That's been something FaZe have been lacking all game. It means you have to start double mid, and that's probably part of the anxiety for FaZe. They know that this every round really has ended up on B except for one, so they don't want to be leaving B weakened early. But this time Brokey's there. He lobs in the util with Twist. We get Twist set up bottom mid. He's able to fast flank if he wants. He doesn't need to in that round though, because FaZe just keep the site together even as BNE get in. Looking better, FaZe finding more success. Lots of Molotovs traded early just to deny that aggression. Rain's going to smoke it. Thank you for the insta-bloom. And he's got a nice tasty gap here to find walking players crossing through. Rain, even 50 damage can go a long way. The nade will supplement it down to 2 on Synopsy. Rain's done 98. Not bad at all. And BNE again constricted. Rops has even got deep A main info. Lacking mid info though right now for FaZe.
Now that's about to change, man. Brokey was on this main push. Right now he's rerouted into Donut. I'm assuming this is like the long con to give Twists the freedom to play rotate, and that's happening right now. So yeah, Brokey's able to hold this mid angle to reinforce this side of the, the middle area of the map. And it frees up Twist to play that rotate role. This is all thanks to having that early double up in A main to set Rops up here, right? He's going to start to swing ahead of this. This shot from GXX's AWP. Now the alarm bells start to sound for FaZe. Brokey got set up in Donut to hold for exactly this contingency, and hold it down he shall. Doubles up on that AWP. Bad News Eagles 2 versus 5, and they're relegated to a save in T spawn.
Yeah, they just didn't like what they saw at B, right? They didn't want to commit to that take, and going back late in the round to clear out T spawn, you see the pain that comes with it, how much info, how much room FaZe have, with Robs all the way pushed up in A main. Scenario, he's got to fight for his life right now. Rain's coming in from the B side, and they know FaZe have full info, no surprises. Oh, great flashbang, but Quan Flatro holds on, and I think they've got it. I think they've just about survived. The last second spam, maybe. Rock's coming through, but no exits for FaZe. Still, only 2 guns held. It wasn't the perfect round for BNE. It wasn't what they wanted. Robs has been very aggressive in A main in some of these previous rounds, as BNE are now finding out. So if they want to stop that, they've got to do it early. But yeah, more often than not, BNE are 5B at the start of the round.
And I mean, I look at this as like a real test for the Bad News Eagles now, right? Like, because there's one thing Karrigan's very, very good at with all of his experience and all of his tenure as an IGL. It's kind of coming up with solutions on the fly and getting a bit of a read on the game, right? He even made that decision for I'm assuming it's him, you know, Rops and Brokey to go and reinforce this A bomb site early to take all that control. And I mean, it was at the perfect moment, right? That was finally around where Bad News Eagles tried leaning back into that A bomb site. So, you know, Karrigan's probably feeling like he's got a good read on the game right now. And so it's going to fall into the Bad News Eagles camp to try and one-up him. And that's a very hard thing to do. A triple set over here early on. Rops, you said how he's been playing aggro over here in main. He's got Brokey to support him, right? Hoping that Brokey can strike first, peel the attention in towards him. That's not going to happen with Regon making that first contact from the AWP. Shot rallies out, and Rops tried to go pushing, but does get dealt with. Only a 1-for-1. While this is happening, Synopsy is all the way through red, up middle. Twists knows there's a chance at this gap being found, but how much do FaZe believe that someone's hit that timing? Right now, it was checked for a moment, but it's not being properly considered. Brokey is getting backstabbed. If he falls, that's the invitation into A. Synopsy's trying to milk this for all it's worth, and the decision to go Temple is a smart one. They will not be ready for this. They will have no idea that someone is in this position. Brokey now dead, and he's seen the man over in Donut as well. Synopsy has opened up the path into an A play. Carrigan swings out, and the bomb plant's denied. It starts to get a little bit weird now in the mid-round, and Carrigan with this AWP is putting it to good use. GXX alone, trying to bait this shot, but Carrigan's built different and holds it off till the right moment. It's 3 from him, and FaZe are up onto 8.
Oh, he's an AWPer. Always was, always will be. And that is a beautiful round on rotation for Carrigan. Poor Synopsy, man, on that big flank. Finding the first kill is great. He even knows where Twist is. You know, lets his teammate get completely controlled in A. But he faces CT before that AWP is ready. It wasn't primed. It wasn't out. Bolt was not pulled back. And so Carrigan just gets a freebie and goes on a tear. Great bomb plant denial for Twists as well. Forces B&E to stay in the bomb site, doesn't let them tuck in and play that timer. Oh, Rain continues his aggression, his spam. And Carrigan continues dueling ramp. Some things do never change. 2 kills, pistol out, trying to farm these ecos, and he's got 3. Now the AWP here as well. Rain lines up more. Brokey may have fallen, but this round should just be fine. And FaZe hold on with 9 in this CT side right now. B rushes, finally getting minced by FaZe, and so this is really a changing of the tide in this latter stage of the first half. Also, I feel like Brokey has had incredible positioning all half in this map. He has been in the right place every single time. Yeah, he got caught on the A side by that timing the other round, but he was in Donut on that mid-split play. He's on every B round right now. When Rops is getting troubled up in A main, Brokey is there to help out. Fast mid this time for B&E.
Yeah, with Twist tucked, man, he's going to be good to respond to this play now. Only goes 1-for-1, but Brokey. Oh, okay.
Eyes closed.
Couldn't even see what was happening in middle, but that doesn't stop him from finding impact, does it? Synopsy. He's called, guys. I might have found a bit of a timing here. I'm deep up the ramp side. Maybe we just lean back into one of these B plays. Now, Carrigan doesn't know he's so deep. And as he... Ooh, yeah, that's a wide old swing, isn't it? Still, it's not the kill. You would have loved that. That would have been your invitation. Gets a little more awkward. GXX will win that fight to Carrigan. Rain still in cave. You know he's going to be here.
God.
But he's going to spam out the bomb plant. Scenari dead. GXX falls, trying to deal with the lane wrap. And now it is just Synopsy who's going to get silenced. The AWP's getting a lot of mileage up here for FaZe. And they're now on to double digits, 10-4. It might have been, you know, a kind of heated start with both teams looking competitive early on. But the longer this game's gone on, the more FaZe have risen to the occasion.
Yeah, the big change, they just stopped with that B aggro, right? They started putting double middle. They started taking a lot more control there. Rain's been super successful in his spams. I can't believe he even spams out the plants there as well. Whoever's putting the bomb down this map is just getting reamed out. It's more often than not Scenari, and he keeps getting killed on both bomb sites. But yeah, Brokey just quick shotting everyone with this AWP right now. B&E cannot find a way in. Their 5 B default plays were not working. Smoked out of mid yet again. Rain looking for more random spam. More free damage. Twist has gone back to change his weapon. Reset on that A site. Still got a double AWP. Rops is wielding his towards Donut. He's letting them go up top red. He's told his team, and so Brokey's been dispatched to pull back. Rain does get aggressive and catch GXX towards... Wait, that was in middle. He killed him bottom mid from B, and it wasn't even a wallbang. Can't tell you how. Rops almost lines up 2. Bomb loose in middle, and this round's falling apart.
As they try to go red, mate, they're going to go into another one of these AWPs, and Brokey, I mean, it's just pick your poison, pick your fighter. Where do you want to go? It's into the demise, right? FaZe clan up onto 11. The AWPs just tearing through them. I don't know how that wasn't a wall bang out of Rain. I can't piece that together.
Unless he walked all the way through the smoke and fought mid, but like there was a player on ledge.
Yeah.
And he killed a guy bottom mid from B. I literally have no idea how. Must have been a wall bang. Maybe it didn't show in the kill feed, but I'm gobsmacked. And Rain, he's just built diff. He's just doing it dirty. And these AWPs, okay, that's not a wall bang. I guess if you can fit a bullet through it, full damage, mate. Rain's finding holes. He's finding nooks and crannies.
I mean, he really is like he is just the caveman.
Yeah.
Caveman.
Neanderthal Rain.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It was him, he started to cook up a bunch of these exciting angles early on, and he's refining them, making them even prettier.
That's sick, dude. I can't believe it's so good because it's not just like the flashy. It's more damage with that spot. He's got such a nice lineup. This is cool though. FaZe, they don't know it, but they're getting boxed in right now. Freshly squeezed FaZe juice, courtesy of B&E, trapping them in A main. Breakfast is served.
Yeah, now the flank's been spotted, though. It gets a little bit weird, because Bad News Eagles, they want to try and pressure with this. Ooh, they're winning all the early fights. Rops turns around and mops up that flank. Both those players dealt with, and now options open to FaZe. Rain has got a lot of room. He's all the way through B. They can't go back. The bomb is dropped in the A site, but as Bad News Eagles are pressuring these main players, the results just aren't there. They turn, they get the info that Rain is flanking, but that's not going to make this any easier for Synopsy. Peeking out, can't quite double up, and even if he dealt with twists, Rain was ready and raring to go to trade that one out.
Yeah, this is a lights out FaZe. This is the FaZe I wanted today, right? It hurts for B&E to just get bullied like this, but welcome to the Legend stage, folks. Welcome to a game versus Legends. One of the favorite teams to win the major here in FaZe. And about time for some of these players as well. This super team is putting on a super show. 12-4 with a pistol in their pocket despite a 3-on-5 disadvantage. Rain runs a mid Molotov. Absolutely no respect from this guy in this map. Flatro coming in through. Rain does get shot by his teammate, but now Flatro knows he's in position. Takes the kill. There's a gun to grab there if he wants to risk it. But really, this is all a ruse for an A walk.
Yeah, GXX has had a really quiet game. Bit of a rough one for him, and he's the only guy left on this A bomb site. He gets the info that they're out, but is that going to make this any easier to deal with on the force out of Bad News Eagles? That smoke's kind of less than ideal. It actually gives the CTs a way to get to default, a way to cross in. Carrigan with this wrap should be good to trade one Flatro, so that's something to go off of at least, but a 3-on-3. Not out of the woods yet. Twist is making it that much easier, though, with each kill he gets. And even though they've smoked off the donut post plant, they don't feel safe nor secure in getting on this bomb. They're just playing for kills now, and they're not going to get them. Carrigan turns on a dime to close it, and the conversions now are flowing for FaZe, who just look to run away with this one.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong, for Bad News Eagles, it's a bit of a shame that this is where the game is at right now. They're not going to have many chances to turn it around. But if FaZe do just go on to close this out cleanly, it's at least reassuring for a squad that a lot of people has pegged as favorites to make it through into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's even a testament just to the mental capacity of FaZe, right? Coming in with a good mentality after losing it pretty dominantly, 16-8 to Ents in their opener. The budget phase, the baby phase, some say. But yeah, FaZe coming in, not letting that dismay them, and just trying to keep it as clean as they can from here on out. 13-4 and full eco. FaZe are just contacting into B. Carrigan, the ramp man, he's been dueling it all damn day. Synopsy doesn't get clear, but not the gun for the job. Carrigan's got cover from the back of the ramp, and he's farming as well. It's only Rigon in a 1v5. FaZe bordering 14 rounds. And like you said, not many chances. It's all going to come down to one buy on the CT side.
Yeah, one chance, one opportunity to turn it all around. GXX gets his AWP, and really, I'm going to home in on him. He needs to step up with it, man. He really does. You know, like matching up against FaZe, up against Brokey, one of the big stars of 2022. It was never gonna be easy, but 3-15, not where he needs to be, man. So now with the CT AWP in his hands, hoping for a bit of a change out of this guy. Hoping for that second wind. If it doesn't arrive, FaZe Clan will have just run away with this game.
And really, you just needs to be in the right spot, but you don't really know where FaZe are going to go right now, considering like just the single AWP alone on Brokey was perfect in every position, every round on his first half. But then once we started seeing double AWPs, once Karrigan and Robs started wielding them as well, it was just over that half. So GXX, where's he going to start? Triple mid. Here we go, over the top of the Molotov, but he's smoked instead. Rain fights through it yet again, but he doesn't know what he's running into. If he kills one, he will get traded, but he's crept into the smoke. They've seen him last second. GXX saves it. Recovery shot, but he needs more.
Yeah, one kill ain't bad, right? But gonna need to keep this AWP as a constant playmaker in this round. Plant now coming in, spam. Regon at least bails them out of that one. Saves the life of one Flatro. Twists, dispatches of him with a double. And what was a 5v3 for Bad News Eagles now turns very, very sour. With that kill onto one Flatro, they know they've lost Donut. Suddenly, no! Rops' back was turned, but a missed shot that just sails on by him. GXX, the nightmare continues, 1v3, and he's out of there trying to save. Brokey is not in a forgiving mood, though. He wants to take this AWP away. They see him running, they see him trying to get out of there with it. And he should have put enough distance between himself and FaZe to at least hold on to that AWP, but still, you know, there's no ignoring the scoreline. There's no ignoring this game out of FaZe. This one is teed up to be a very convincing win for them.
Yeah, small victory, but the big one is certainly in FaZe's pocket. This is going to be the most dominant map we've seen today. And I don't know if there's going to be any way for BNE to stop that one. Also, a 16-4 was Nip taking down Vitality. So maybe BNE can hold on for one more, try and uproot that at least. But FaZe are not in a forgiving mood. Triple mollies at B already used. BNE taking that Jag control instantly in Rain. He's looking back through his spam spot on the other side as well. You just can't get comfortable in Cave when Rain's still standing.
Full volley of util, full exec into B. Karrigan running through the smoke. How does he win that, man? He's up in the face of Synopsy. Now, luckily enough, Scenari's traded. Rain is on this late lurk all the way up through middle. Regon dead, rotating in, never lives to see the retake attempt. And Rops even going to deal with one Flatro over in Cave. Rain has completely left the flank. And so right now, Bad News Eagles are worried about a play that cannot get made anymore. They're holding for a wrap. They're constantly paranoid about it. Everyone's set up to spam this bomb and play around denying a defuse. That means Bad News Eagles, they've got to try to get on it. They're safe from the angle. FaZe go running in and stop the defuse, and GXX is brushed aside. It's a dominant victory for FaZe Clan to see them through 1-1.
That round is just such descriptive, you know, way to break down that entire map, right? Like everyone's looking left and right, up and down. They don't know where to go, and FaZe is just jumping through smokes, shooting through walls, keeping the pressure on, and they're looking like they're having fun as well, and that's nice, right? Just keeping themselves together after dropping 0-1 to Ents. They now recover 1-1. It's going to be BNE, who are down 0-2, joining Vitality. A very scary list of rosters going down. They're facing a single BO3 from elimination from the Legend stage. For FaZe, they're just trying to keep it up, man. They're trying to bounce back, and I'd say that's one step in the right direction.
Yeah, right. It's very reassuring. You know, it was something we touched upon coming into this, the Ents game that we saw out of those guys. That's a pretty legitimate win, loss to have fielded. You know, Ents come into this in like really good form. I mean, it was them playing up against FaZe in the Pro League finals not too long ago as well. You know, they're kind of on that path right now. So that was one where you can kind of forgive it for FaZe. I think if this ended up even being close, that would have raised some serious questions, but we never even have to worry about that because it is just utter domination out of FaZe Clan. I've got to say, you know, it felt like they came into that with a really clear game plan as well as to how to deal with Bad News Eagles on that T side. And it didn't even really work, you know, like the idea felt like it was fight for that lane control, try to deny the kind of staging grounds for a B offensive out of the Bad News Eagles. And they even then just lean away from it, right? They go to like a more standard double doubling up in mid, having this kind of more passive hold with Rain holding down the cave side. And I think when you have a guy who knows this many wallbangs, you don't even feel that urge to get hyper-aggressive. Like, he's able to exert a lot of control from just this position right here. So, yeah, man, it was really, really nice for FaZe to kind of realize that maybe their initial game plan wasn't working so well. They had a lot of depth, they had a lot to fall back on, and Bad News Eagles just didn't have that same kind of depth to their strat book in that first half, and it didn't leave them any room in the second.
Yeah, the second FaZe stopped playing aggro. They won every single round, right? They just didn't even drop the ball on the remainder of the CT side. It was competitive for about 8 rounds, and then FaZe just ran away with things. Hard to pick an MVP, but there's many men who could fill that void. Carrigan, on the numbers alone, looked very, very good. Just taking fights on ramp on both halves. But, I think Brokey had a massive game as well, and Rain saved some of those CT rounds with his wall bangs in taking down planters or finding 5-on-4s. So, yeah, just a team of the match, I think, and I think it's FaZe Clan in this one. What a quick game in the office here for FaZe.
Dude, I know. I was expecting so much more, honestly. I thought we were going to have a bit more of like a brawly atmosphere going on, but FaZe never let it get to like dirty fighting, They never let it get that far. They just kind of remained composed throughout the entire thing. They felt like they had more than enough to fall back on. I think it was helped out as well by the fact that GXX, man, had like a very, very quiet game here. Don't know if that's nerves getting to him or just struggling to find the impact with that AWP, but it certainly made matters harder when you factor in, it felt like Brokey was in the right spot every single round, exactly where he needed to be, and never missing the mark.
Even smoke spamming, man. He's built different. But we've got a bit of a naughty matchup for our next 0-1 game. It's the Battle of North America, Harry. It's Furia taking on Team Liquid. So stay with us, NA folk.
I don't know if any of you looked at your Counter-Strike client and just went, oh my God, what the hell am I going to do? Because the pick'ems for the Legend stage are nigh on impossible to predict. So I thought I'd ask some professionals, and I'm going to ask one right now. In fact, his name is Refresh, and he's never actually done pick'ems before, have you?
No, I mean, this is going to be my first one, so it's going to be interesting to see if I'm